Join me as I take on the challenge of diving deep into biblical wisdom and figuring out how to actually apply it in my life this year. Today, I want to talk about something that I think is really important but often misunderstood. Biblical wisdom. We all know that the Bible is full of timeless teachings and principles, but sometimes it can be hard to know how to apply them in our modern lives. So I want to explore what biblical wisdom really means and how we can make it a part of our daily lives. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about biblical wisdom is that it's just about following rules and being a good person, but it's so much more than that. Biblical wisdom is about understanding God's character and nature and living in a way that reflects His heart. It's not just about doing the right thing, but about understanding why we do what we do. Many people think that biblical wisdom is old-fashioned or outdated, but the truth is that it's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. Another misconception is that biblical wisdom is only for super spiritual people or theologians, but the Bible says that wisdom is available to anyone who asks for it. It's not about being a Bible scholar or a pastor, it's about having a willingness to learn and grow. Some people think that biblical wisdom is only about individual morality, but it's actually about how we live in community with others. It's about how we treat our neighbors, our friends, and our family. I've also seen people get turned off by biblical wisdom because they've been hurt by the church or by people who claim to be Christians. But biblical wisdom is not about institutions or people. It's about Jesus. It's about understanding His teachings and living in a way that honors Him. And finally, some people think that biblical wisdom is just about feeling good or being inspired. But it's so much more than that. It's about transformation, about becoming more like Jesus every day. Let's take a look at some specific examples of biblical wisdom and how we can apply them in our everyday lives. One of my favorite passages is Proverbs 27:17, which says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." This verse is talking about the importance of community and accountability in our lives. It's saying that we need people around us who will challenge us, encourage us, and help us grow. This is especially important in today's society where we can feel so isolated and alone. Another example is Matthew 5:44, which says, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." This verse is talking about how we should respond to our enemies, and it's not about being a doormat or letting people walk all over us. It's about treating others with kindness and compassion, even when they don't deserve it. This is a huge challenge for me because I have a tendency to want to fight back or defend myself when someone hurts me. But Jesus is saying that we should respond in love and trust that He will take care of us. Or what about Romans 12:2, which says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." This verse is talking about the importance of transformation in our lives. It's saying that we should not be conformed to the world around us, but that we should be transformed by the renewing of our minds. This means that we need to be intentional about what we're putting into our minds and what we're allowing to shape our thoughts and actions. One of the most powerful insights I've gained recently is the importance of living with integrity. It's easy to compartmentalize our lives and to pretend to be someone we're not, but biblical wisdom is about authenticity, about being the same person on the inside as we are on the outside. It's about living with honesty, transparency, and humility. When we live with integrity, we open ourselves up to the possibility of real relationships, real growth, and real transformation. I want to share a story with you that has really impacted me recently. I was talking to a friend who had gone through a really tough season in her life, and she was sharing with me about how she had struggled to forgive. She told me that she realized that she had been holding on to her anger and resentment for so long and that it was eating away at her. But then she started to apply biblical wisdom to her situation, and she began to see real transformation in her life. She started to pray for her enemies and to treat them with kindness and compassion. And as she did, she began to feel a weight lift off her shoulders, and she started to experience real freedom and joy. This story reminds me that biblical wisdom is not just about abstract theories or principles, it's about real, practical application that can change our lives. So what does all of this mean for us? I believe that biblical wisdom is not just some dusty old teachings from the past. It's a powerful tool that can transform our lives today. It's about understanding God's character and nature and living in a way that reflects His heart. It's about community, accountability, and transformation. I want to challenge you to take a fresh look at biblical wisdom and to start applying it in your own life. I promise you that it will be worth it. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have a story about how biblical wisdom has impacted your life, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about biblical wisdom, be sure to check out my next video where I'll be diving deeper into this topic. See you there.